They're all set. Track cleared. Set. Racing. Cross time on the inside began well. Quite Famous has scrambled away. Adios Moth was fairly away. Crystal Glenmar began very quickly indeed. It's trying to head off Springfield Raja early. A little bit slow to begin was Gosh, and out the back is Magic Madge, and Jack Brandon second last. Out of the straight the first time. Cross time kicks up on the fence and leads early from Crystal Glenmar. Springfield Raja gets the third. 6 metres away, Adios Moth. Fifth on the rail is Narden's Castle, followed by Pebble Hanover. In behind them came Gosh, followed by Quite Famous. 6 metres away, Jack Brandon, and 5 metres away, Magic Madge. In the back straight the first time, and cross time in front by 5 metres to Springfield Raja. A sulky's length away, Crystal Glenmar on the outside. Narden's Castle fourth on the rail. Fifth on the outside is Adios Moth. Pebble Hanover 3 back on the outside of Gosh. 4 metres away, Quite Famous. Magic Madge is second last, and 4 metres away, Jack Brandon. They've nearly on the first circuit, around the turn once again. 2,000 metres to go, and cross time left alone the first circuit by 4 metres to Springfield Raja, who's hard up on his back. A neck on the outside is Crystal Glenmar. 3 metres to Narden's Castle, who's 3 back on the fence, followed by Adios Moth. He has the perfect trail. On the rail and 4 pairs back as Gosh, working up as Pebble Hanover. Then Magic Madge from Quite Famous, and 4 metres away, Jack Brandon. They slacken off out of the straight once again, short of 2 circuits to go, and cross time in front, and left alone by 3 metres to Crystal Glenmar. Pebble Hanover from 3 back on the outside is now going forward 3 wide. Quite Famous was about to go. He'll have to now. He's out 3 wide as Jack Brandon kicked up in the centre. On the leader's back is Springfield Raja. Fourth on the outside is Crystal Glenmar. As Pebble Hanover works up within a metre of cross time, and Quite Famous is going forward 3 wide. In behind them came Adios Moth, followed by Narden's Castle. 4 metres away, Springfield Raja, followed by Magic Madge, and 4 metres away, Jack Brandon. Coming off the back, a lap and a quarter left to go, and Quite Famous is looking for the lead. Around the turn, a circuit left to go, and he crosses now Quite Famous by 5 metres to cross time. 4 metres away, Springfield Raja on the inside of Pebble Hanover. Then Crystal Glenmar, followed by Narden's Castle. He's now 4 back on the fence, followed by Adios Moth. Then Magic Madge, followed by Gosh, and 4 metres away, Jack Brandon. He's last with a circuit to go in the Geelong Pacing Cup, and he's about to go forward 3 wide. He goes now, and he's looking for cover. They head to the back after the bell at the 850. Quite Famous, 3 metres in front of Pebble Hanover. A metre back on the inside is cross time. Fourth is Crystal Glenmar. Fifth on the inside is Springfield Raja. Adios Moth now hooks to the outside. Narden's Castle 1 off the rail. Magic Madge is third last. Second last is Gosh. And 4 metres away, Jack Brandon last down the back of the 550, and 30 metres off Quite Famous. At the 500, Quite Famous 3 metres in front of Pebble Hanover, who is flat. And Quite Famous is going okay before the turn. In behind them, cross time, followed by Crystal Glenmar. Springfield Raja making some ground. Adios Moth is 4 wide. In behind them, Gosh, followed by Narden's Castle. Jack Brandon second last. He can't win, and 10 metres away, Magic Madge. Quite Famous, though, got away at the top of the straight. He's full of running by 6 metres to Pebble Hanover. Springfield Raja boxing on from Adios Moth and Gosh at the 120, and it's all Quite Famous. He's 5 metres in front. Pebble Hanover, Springfield Raja, Narden's Castle, Adios Moth are boxing on, but Quite Famous too good. Wins 3 metres to Pebble Hanover. Maybe Springfield Raja third, and nose to Narden's Castle. Adios Moth was close up, followed by Gosh. Jack Brandon never in the fight, followed by cross time Crystal Glenmar, and last in was Magic Madge. Number 4, Quite Famous, driven by Jim O'Sullivan, winner of the Geelong Pacing Cup. He made a move out of the straight, short of 2 circuits to travel. He was out second and third last. He saw the one in front going forward, and that sealed him along Quite Famous. He was about to grab hold, but Jack Brandon, who was last, kicked up in the centre, forced him out 3 wide. So Jimmy O'Sullivan took the odds. He went forward on Quite Famous. He raced to the lead of the lap and a quarter mark, and he was always going quite comfortably from that point on. And we'll cross to the presentation area. The award's about to take place on the Geelong Pacing Cup. Once again, the club president, Mr. Neil Richmond.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the running of the 1985 Geelong Pacing Cup. And what a marvellous race it was. Won by Quite Famous and owned by that very popular owner, Alan Hunter. Alan has always come down here and said to me, By Jove, Neil, he said, I'd love to win that Pacing Cup one year, and this year he has done it. But ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce to you our President of the Country Trotting Clubs Association, and he is also President of the Ararat Trotting Club, Mr. Gerald Shea, who will present the trophy to the winning owner, Mr. Alan Hunter. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Neil. Mr. President, members of the Harness Racing Board, members of the Geelong Harness Racing Committee, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed my pleasure this evening to be present to witness the running of the Geelong Cup, one of the most prestigious events within harness racing throughout Australia. One only has to look at the prize money being offered tonight to realise that it is one of the most prestigious events throughout Australia. And tonight's race lived up to the promise that was put before us in the papers today. We've gathered to here today one of the best fields we possibly could, and you've witnessed tonight one of the best races you could ever wish to see. I have to say it was one of the most daring drives I've ever seen by Jim O'Sullivan, to go to the front a lap from home and to run them off their legs. He's broken a class record, and it was a very fitting drive by Jim, and it just shows you how well he's prepared the horse. This horse, of course, is owned by the ever-popular Mr. Alan Hunter, a man who's put a lot into harness racing, and tonight he's as pleased as he possibly can be to have won this prestigious event, and our congratulations go to him. And Mr. Hunter would come forward. I have much pleasure in presenting him with the Geelong Harness Racing Cup.
Congratulations, Gerald. Fantastic. A few words. Thank you. Mr. Shea, Mr. Richmond, committee of the Geelong Harness Racing Club and Dydenwall trotting people. Really, words can't express the excitement I've got tonight. I know I've won a lot of races and I know I've been very successful, but really the excitement there tonight was unbelievable. I really came down tonight with a hope and a prayer and that we could win, but I didn't dare give myself any chance until Jim O'Sullivan took off with a lap and a half to go, and I looked when he got to the front, I thought, Christ, it's a long way to go yet, and we've got a long way to go. And when he got to the front, I kept looking at the winning post, and it wasn't until we passed the post, or about 20 yards from the post, I thought, Christ, I've got the money. And it's terrific to be here. They're a great club, the Geelong Trotting Club. They're great people. It's a good sport to be in. I've had a great deal of fun out of it, and I've had a great deal of pleasure out of it, and any money I've put into it has been well worth it. And I can say that it's one of the biggest thrills you can ever have in your life is winning a trophy. Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thanks, Alan. Congratulations.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you very much, Alan. Alan also is a very good sponsor to our club and sponsors one of our race meetings later on in the season, and it's great to see him win the race. I'd now like to call on Mr. Jim O'Sullivan to come forward to accept his trophies. We have a trophy for the trainer and the driver, but seeing Jim is the trainer and the driver, he gets both these trophies, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd come forward, Jim. Congratulations, Jim. All right. That's the driver. And the trainer's one's over there. All right. Thank you, Jim. Would you like to say a few words? Good.
I'd like to thank everyone concerned, Geelong Trotting Club and Alan and Sylvia, and a special thanks to the horse. He's had his share of knockers, but I think you've solved a few of them tonight.
Good on you, Jim.